Here's some excellent news. Two leftist lawyers are facing up to 10 years in prison for violent and indeed terroristic actions in the wake of the George Floyd incident. These are the lawyers. The first guy is Collinford Mattis, and he had a female companion, Uruj Rahman. Sounds like an Asian Indian. In fact, looks like an Asian Indian from the mugshot I'm looking at in front of me. So here's what happened. Uruj Rahman was the main culprit. She actually threw a firebomb into a police car, tried to distribute more firebombs to others to throw, and then fled in a getaway car that was driven by Collinford Mattis. So these guys were obviously co-conspirators. They were working together. Here's a remarkable fact. These people are sort of the best and brightest of what our university system is producing, which really shows you that not only is there a great deal of radicalism being cultivated in the universities, but the more elite the university, the more radical it tends to be. Now, Collinford Mattis, the black guy who was part of this operation, Princeton, NYU Law School. Uruj Rahman, Fordham Law School. So these are people who are learning in their classes that America is evil and should be destroyed. They hear that the cops are racist, and so they should be stopped. They should be blocked. They should be prevented from doing their job, even if it involves harming them or even killing them. Now, these guys were both, at the time that they took their actions, lawyers, which is to say they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew they were breaking the law. This is not a case where, we just got a little bit carried away. No, these are guys who are in the legal field working for law firms. And I think they both recognize that their tenure at law firms is now over. But here's something interesting. Here's Rachel Barkow. She's an NYU law school professor. She taught this guy Mattis, and you'd think she'd be ashamed of herself. Look, I've planted all these seeds of radicalism. This guy's now trying to bomb police cars. Is this what education is all about? But no, she is intervening to try to help him and try to prevent him from getting prison time. She goes, quote, "Neither have any criminal record. No one was hurt. Neither had any intent to hurt anyone through their actions." Now, let's pause for a minute, because this is the criterion that, if applied to the January 6th defendants, would essentially exonerate virtually all of them. Let's read it again. Neither have any criminal record. That's true of the vast majority of January 6th defendants. No one was hurt. That is manifestly true. And neither had any intent to hurt anyone through their actions. That's true also. So if you apply this criteria, okay, you want to apply the criteria in this case, but apply it across the board. This is the point that infuriates me about the left, is they want to apply these kinds of, let's understand the motivation of the perpetrator. But when it comes to our side, let's forget about all that. Let's just put labels. Oh, there was an insurrection. It was a riot. It was terrorism. Even though no one's charged with insurrection, even though no one's charged with sedition. So these labels and designations are used to then unleash the full fury of the federal government against them. Well, I'm really glad that these guys aren't getting off lightly. It remains to be seen what sentence they will get. In fact, the 10-year sentence only applies to if their actions are categorized as amounting to some form of terrorism. Seems to me kind of obvious that they are. But the judge goes, the terrorism enhancement is going to be a big issue. I have no idea where I'm going to come out on that. So again, it is quite possible that these guys, again, will get something relatively light for doing something very serious, whereas our guys who have done something terribly light end up getting serious penalties as a consequence.